Hey there, friends. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. Pull up a chair and get comfortable because we're about to explore one of the most chilling urban legends from the heart of Indonesia. You know, Indonesia is a place filled with beautiful islands and rich culture, but beneath that beauty lies a world of spirits that locals truly fear. We're talking about Wewe Gombel. She isn't just your average ghost. She's a vengeful spirit with a very specific and frankly terrifying habit. So dim the lights, grab a blanket, and let's talk about why you might want to keep your doors locked tonight. So, who exactly is Wewe Gombel? The legend says she was once a human woman, a wife who was deeply in love with her husband. But her story is a tragic one. She was unable to have children, which led to her husband neglecting and eventually betraying her. Driven to madness by grief and the social stigma of being childless, she took her own life. But her spirit didn't find peace. Instead, she transformed into a Wewe, a spirit that wanders the twilight, searching for children to take as her own. It's a sad story, right? But wait until you hear how she looks now. Physically, Wewe Gombel is the stuff of nightmares. She is often described as an elderly woman with extremely long, sagging breasts that reach down to her waist. Her hair is a wild, tangled mess of black and gray, often covering her pale, sunken face. When she finds a child, she doesn't hurt them in the way you might expect. Instead, she hides them under her long, pendulous breasts to keep them safe from the world. Imagine being trapped in that darkness, unable to see anything but the cold spirit flesh of a woman who has lost her mind. It's a claustrophobic horror that stays with you. But here is the catch, and this is where it gets interesting for parents. Wewe Gombel doesn't just take any child. She targets those who are being mistreated or neglected by their parents. If a child is crying or left alone during the magical hour of sunset, known as Sandikala, that's when she strikes. She thinks she's doing them a favor, rescuing them from an unhappy home. It's her way of finally being a mother, but in the most twisted way possible. In many Indonesian homes, parents use her name to make sure their kids are inside before the sun goes down. A dark bedtime story with real stakes. Imagine a quiet village in central Java. The air is thick with humidity and the smell of jasmine. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, the sky turns a bruised purple. This is the time when the boundaries between our world and the spirit world become thin. The cicadas stop their buzzing, and a sudden unnatural silence falls over the trees. This is when the elders tell the children to stop playing. "Don't stay out late," they whisper, "or Grandma Gombel will come and find you." The tension in these villages during sunset is palpable, like everyone is holding their breath until the moon rises. Let's look at a specific story. A young boy named Adi once ignored his grandmother's warnings. He stayed out late near a massive banyan tree, chasing fireflies. As the last light faded, he felt a strange warmth, like someone was wrapping a heavy, wet blanket around him. He tried to scream, but his voice was muffled by something soft and cold. His friends turned around, and Adi was simply gone. No footprints, no struggle, just his small wooden toy left on the dirt path. The village immediately knew what had happened. Wewe Gombel had claimed another child for her nest in the treetops. The search for a child taken by Wewe Gombel is a ritual in itself. The villagers don't just use flashlights, they bring out traditional bamboo instruments called tek-tek or gamelan. They parade through the woods, making as much noise as possible. The belief is that the loud, rhythmic clanging will annoy the spirit or confuse her, forcing her to drop the child. They chant, they drum, and they search high up in the trees. It's a frantic, loud, and terrifying procession through the pitch-black jungle where every shadow seems to move, and every rustle of a leaf could be the spirit shifting her weight. Hours into the search, they often find the child in the most impossible places. Sometimes they are found at the very top of a towering palm tree, or tucked away in a hole that a human couldn't possibly fit into. When the children are recovered, they are usually in a trance-like state. They describe being in a beautiful place, being fed delicious food, and being held by a kind woman. But the reality is much darker. The delicious food is often discovered to be earthworms or filth that the spirit has tricked them into eating. It's a psychological trauma that leaves these children scarred for life. There is a chilling detail many people overlook. Wewe Gombel doesn't just take the child, she waits for the parents to realize their mistake. She watches from the shadows as the parents weep and beg for their child's return. She wants them to feel the same pain of loss that she felt when she was alive. Some say she only releases the child once the parents have truly repented for their neglect. It's a moral lesson enforced by a monster. But sometimes, if the spirit feels the child is better off with her, they are never seen again, becoming part of the forest forever. Even if the child returns, the house is never the same. They say the scent of Wewe Gombel lingers, a smell like rotting wood and old incense. The child might wake up screaming in the middle of the night, claiming they can see a tall, pale woman standing in the corner of their room, just watching. The legend of Wewe Gombel serves as a permanent reminder to never take your family for granted, because in the dark corners of the world, there are things waiting to take what you don't appreciate. She is always there, waiting for the sun to go down, and for a child to be left alone. You know, many people think these are just stories to keep kids in line, but if you talk to the people who live near the mountains of Semarang, they'll tell you differently. They'll tell you about the times the tek-tek drums didn't work. They'll tell you about the children who came back but never spoke another word. The fear is real, and the history of the Gombel Hill is steeped in these disappearances. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is it just folklore? Or is there something ancient and grieving still wandering those hills, looking for a child to love? I hope you enjoyed this little trip into the dark side of folklore. It's fascinating how every culture has its own way of processing grief and teaching lessons through the lens of horror. Before you go, take a look around you. Is it sunset where you are? Are the shadows getting just a little bit longer? Make sure you're not alone, and whatever you do, don't look up into the trees. You never know who might be looking back down at you, waiting for the perfect moment to say hello. Stay safe out there, everyone. Gotcha. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But seriously, if you love these kinds of deep dives into urban legends and ghostly tales, you're in the right place. There are so many more stories to tell, from the spirits of the deep ocean to the ghosts of ancient ruins. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing these spooky stories to your screen. Tell me in the comments, which legend should I cover next? Until next time, keep the lights on. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, the world is a lot bigger and stranger than we often realize. Sleep tight and don't let the Wewe Gombel catch you neglecting your chores. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video, if you dare to tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.